Hello, I'm Beverly from the Midland Public Library, Program Assistant, and today on Know Your Local Species, we are going to look at some evergreens, the spruce, the fir, and the pine, and how to identify them. In Ontario, we are lucky to have so many species of evergreen trees. At a glance, it can be difficult to tell them apart. Even when searching for differences between them, it can be hard to distinguish them from each other. Fir, spruce, and pine trees are all evergreens found in Ontario. Each of them have their own unique characteristics and subtle differences that can help you identify them, if you know what to look for. Conifers are the name given to specific type of woody plant that are known for staying green all season long, having needle-like leaves. This includes evergreen species like fir, spruce, and pine, as well as other cypress, yew, juniper, and cedar. Conifer trees can withstand freezing conditions and thrive in cold temperatures. They are the fastest growing type of tree in Canada. Despite being evergreen, spruce, pine, and fir do lose their needles. However, this happens gradually and not all in one season, so they keep their green color all year round. Spruce trees are well known for being a popular choice for Christmas trees because of their perfect pyramid shape. The best way to identify a spruce tree is by its needle shape and the way they grow into branches. The needles have 4 distinct sides and are not flat. They are attached to the twigs by woody joint peg. If a spruce twig is bare, it will have a spiky, jagged look because of the woody joint. When you roll a spruce needle between your fingers, you can feel each distinct side easily. Spruce cones hang down, similar to how pine cones hang down. The difference between a spruce and a pine cone is that the spruce cones are softer, more flexible, and have a thinner scale. You can easily bend a spruce cone with your hands, which is something you aren't able to do with fir or pine cone. Spruce tree bark can be identified as being loose, furrowed, and scaly. The patchy bark on a spruce tree is generally gray, and some species have reddish brown, gray brown, or dark green brown colors as well. You will find it easy to flake off pieces of bark from a healthy spruce tree, although you should avoid doing this. Common types of spruce trees in Canada include Colorado spruce, Norway spruce, black spruce, Alberta spruce, and white spruce. Okay, how to identify a pine tree? Pine trees have very distinct needles, like leaves, that can help you easily identify a pine tree. Pine needles grow in clusters on the branch, which is different than other types of evergreens. They are smooth and flexible. They are between 2 and 7 needles in a small bundle attached to a twig. The bundles of needles are held together on a twig, which looks like black tape. It can feel sticky to the touch. Pine needles also tend to be longer than spruce or fir needles. Some needles on a pine tree can grow up to 40 centimeters long, the longest leaves on any type of conifer tree. Pine cones are distinguished by their thick, hard, woody scales. Pine cones are inflexible and the largest of the conifer species. They can vary in shape, some being long and conical, while others being egg-shaped. They grow downwards, hanging down from the branches. From a distance, pine trees look less dense than other evergreens. The branches are less dense compared with spruce and fir, making them seem thinner than other species. Pine tree bark is usually smooth when the tree is young and gradually becomes an orange-red as it ages. Some species of pine have smooth bark that can lightly flake as it grows. Most pine species, however, develop thick, scaly bark that is orangish-brown to gray. Some common species of pine tree include eastern white pine, bristlecone pine, sugar pine, Scots pine. Identifying fir trees. Fir trees are another popular Christmas tree because they retain their needles for a large amount of time after being cut down. They also have a symmetrical pyramid shape that makes them perfect for the holiday season. Fir trees can be identified by the needles. They are similar to spruce needles in that they are short and grow from a single point on the branch. They attach to the branch with something that looks like a suction cup. Differing from spruce trees, however, it is the fir needle that is smooth and flat, and almost squashed appearance. Because they are so flat, they will not roll well between your fingers. These help give some species of fir tree a silvery blue appearance from the forest floor, in contrast to the deep green on the upper side of the foliage. You can immediately identify a fir tree by its cones. Fir cones are the only type of conifer cone that cones grow upwards rather than droop. Fir cones are generally cylindrical, hard, and inflexible. They can grow up to 10 inches and resemble candles sitting on a branch. The cones produced by fir trees can also be very colorful. Purple hues, whites, greens, and dark blues are all commonly seen in immature cones. Once they have matured, they usually are brownish and a little bit softer. Fir bark is generally smooth and gray when the tree is young, but becomes thick, scaly, and furrowed with ridges running vertically as it matures. The bark on a fir tree is usually more deeply furrowed than other types of conifers. Some of the most common types of fir tree in Canada are noble fir, balsam fir, grand fir, Fraser fir, and Douglas fir. And now you know, next time you see a cone on the ground or a tree sporting needles, you'll be able to distinguish if it's a pine, a spruce, or a fir. Or maybe you can look at your own Christmas tree to determine what you think it is. Bye for now. I hope you have enjoyed this Know Your Local Species.